Dad cuts daughter's hair off for getting birthday highlights. Then, mom steps in. Every kid deserves to be spoiled on their birthday. Kelsey Frederick had two parents in her life who cared about her and wanted what was best for her. Her parents, Kristen and Chapin, might not be together anymore, but they still love their daughter dearly. When her 13th birthday came around, Kristen decided to take Kelsey to get the blonde highlights she wanted. Kelsey then went to visit her dad. However, Kelsey was in for a rude awakening, and when she returned to her mother, Kristen couldn't believe how Chapin had reacted to Kelsey's new look. When her dad wasn't able to, her mother stepped in to save the day. Birthdays are supposed to be a time of celebration and rejoicing. Having spent another year in this world, it's only fitting for your friends and family to come together and give you a party. However, one young lady's birthday plans ended up going horribly wrong. Kelsey Frederick was on the verge of turning 13 and was delighted when her mother paid for her very first hair highlights. Then when she went to visit her father, her life was turned upside down. Like many young people today, Kelsey understands what it feels to have two families. While her parents had joint custody of her, she spent a large chunk of time with her loving mother, Kristen Johnson. The two, who live in Ohio together, are like peas and carrots, and Kelsey can confidently call her mom her best friend. However, every story has at least two sides to it, and for Kelsey, that other side was her father. For one reason or another, things didn't work out between Kelsey's parents. Her father, Chapin Frederick, had since moved on from his relationship with Kristen and is now with someone else. In fact, the couple met each other after working together at a fire station. This doesn't take anything away from the fact that Kelsey still wanted to have her father in her life. However, Kelsey's parents weren't the only integral figures in her life and this remarkable story. It wasn't just mother Kristen and father Chapin who made a huge impact on Kelsey's life and this story in particular, for one reason or another. Kelsey had many other important role models in her life, and two of them happened to be women. One of them was her Aunt Kelly, and the other was her godmother, Haley Ann. It turns out, though, that both of them would have a huge part to play in her story when everything was said and done. There's no denying that Kelsey is unique compared to your average young lady. This is one individual who knows what she likes and has some pretty unorthodox passions. For a start, she loves nothing more than swinging for a softball team. She even has her family name plastered on the back of her jersey. Also, she enjoys going out with her cousins on fishing trips. However, there's one thing she had in common with most other kids. She liked celebrating her birthday. Before Kristen knew it, Kelsey was on the verge of turning 13 years of age. While it might not be as significant a milestone as Sweet 16 or turning 21, every birthday counted as far as this loving mother was concerned. In order to celebrate her daughter's birthday, Kristen thought she'd ask Kelsey what she wanted this year instead of giving her a surprise like previous years. However, she was a little taken aback by her daughter's request. Kristen was slightly surprised when Kelsey told her that she wanted some sort of makeover to celebrate her birthday. At 13 years old, Kelsey was still Kristen's little girl. However, it didn't take long before she got on board and was happy to listen to Kelsey's ideas. The young lady specifically wanted blonde highlights on her long brunette hair. Instead of applying them herself, though, Kristen decided that Kelsey needed some 5-star treatment in order to give her the best highlights possible. So off the mother-daughter pairing went to give Kelsey her best birthday present yet. They went to a local salon, and the dynamic duo spent an entire afternoon bonding together while Kelsey got pampered and transformed. After many hours of joking around, staring into mirrors and relaxing, Kristen put Kelsey in front of a mirror to show her the end result. Needless to say, Kelsey was completely blown away by the way she looked on her 13th birthday. As Kelsey looked in a mirror, she was absolutely floored by how beautiful her new blonde highlights looked. With both the birthday girl and her mother delighted with the results, Kristen was so proud of the makeover and ended up sharing a photo of Kelsey on her Facebook profile. It was clear that she was very happy with her new look, purely based on her smile as she posed for the camera. However, her smile was about to be turned upside down. Kelsey's birthday wouldn't have been the same had she not spent some quality time with her dad, Chapin. Kristen completely respected this, knowing that it was extremely important for Kelsey to have a father figure in her life, especially on her birthday. So she got in the car and took her daughter to Chafin's home, where she stayed with him and her stepmother for the next few days. However, things would never be the same when she returned to her mom. On the day of Kelsey's return, Kristen opened the front door to find something shocking. At first, she thought it was just a random child. However, after closer inspection, it was clear that it was Kelsey, who had lost most of her hair. It turned out that Chafin and his wife gave her this horrific haircut, cutting off the beautiful blonde highlights she'd only just received. She now had short sides and a tiny bit of hair on top. It should come as no surprise that Kelsey was absolutely heartbroken and humiliated after having to return home with such a horrific haircut. In a matter of moments, her father had completely destroyed her self-confidence, and as a result of her haircut, Kelsey couldn't even bear to look at herself in the mirror, never mind at the camera. All she could do was hold her hands in her face. As devastated as her daughter was, Kristen only had one word to say: why? Looking for answers, Kristen immediately drove over to Chafin's home and yelled at the couple, asking them why they'd taken it upon themselves to cut off her daughter's beautiful highlights, without even consulting her about it. For Kelsey's father and stepmother, it was pretty simple. They had no choice but to punish Kelsey. In their words, actions have consequences. Surprisingly, Kristen agreed with this statement and chose to do something about it. Unable to forgive Chafin and what he had done to their daughter, Kristen took to social media and shared the tragic photos she was forced to take of Kelsey with her hands in her face. "This is what my daughter looked like Sunday when I took her home, and the other 2 pics is what happened today before she was brought to me," she wrote, all over me having highlights put in her hair for her birthday. Soon enough, Kristen's post went viral. Kristen had never intended for anyone other than her friends and family to see the post. She simply wanted to share her frustrations with those around her. However, she never anticipated just how far her photos would reach. Just a week after posting on Facebook, the photos attracted a staggering 40,000 reactions. Moreover, more than 25,000 people shared the post elsewhere. It's safe to say that the post went viral. However, it soon became clear how most people felt about the photos. As soon as people saw the photos and read the story behind them, they used words such as disgusting and ridiculous to describe it. Having been made aware that Kelsey's father had cut off her hair in order to punish her, the post caused widespread outrage, with thousands of people writing in support of Kelsey and Kristen, while condemning Chafin in the process. "What a cruel thing for a parent to do to their child," one person wrote. "So sorry that happened. Beautiful no matter what." While many went online and were quick to condemn the father's act of shaving off Kelsey's hair, numerous people speculated that Kelsey was an unfortunate victim of another reason. They believed she was stuck in the middle of a bitter, broken marriage. "I think the daughter was unfortunately in the middle of a get back at you between both parents fighting," one person wrote. And this wasn't all that people thought about the terrible situation. For many reading the story, the idea of a parent being upset with their child getting highlights is a divisive topic. Some are totally for their kids getting highlights. At the end of the day, it's not as permanent as getting a tattoo, right? For many teenage kids, getting highlights for the first time in their lives is a big deal. However, it makes sense why some parents aren't so excited about it. Nevertheless, this doesn't excuse her father's actions. While many online users condemned Kelsey's father for the cruel act he had done, others tried to focus on getting her confidence back up. Numerous comments came flooding in that proposed ideas of how to get Kelsey back on track. One user suggested the best thing for Kelsey would be to get extensions, while others suggested that she got a wig. According to Kelsey, though, she was afraid that her dad would simply cut her hair again, repeating history. In order to capitalize on the huge buzz Kristen had created through her viral posts, she decided to set up a Facebook page in honor of her daughter. The main purpose of the page was to bring people together who had dealt with similar situations, while also raising awareness about the issues Kelsey had recently been through. As of March 2019, the page has a whopping 10,000 followers. Kristen was also able to share updates about the story as it continued to unfold. Knowing that people were waiting patiently for answers, hoping that Kelsey would get the justice she deserved, Kristen posted regular updates on the Facebook page. In these posts, she would describe how Kelsey was feeling and what she was doing with her life during these troubling times. She would also explain what was happening behind the scenes from a legal point of view. However, what people seemed to warm to the most was how well Kelsey was taking everything. As previously mentioned, Kelsey had many passions and pastimes that caught a lot of people off guard. Surely enough, the young lady was able to enjoy herself even during the most troubling time in her life. On the Facebook page, Kristen didn't just provide written updates about her daughter's well-being in the legal process. She also posted photos of Kelsey doing the things she loved to the most: playing softball with her team and going out fishing with her cousins. It soon became clear that Kelsey was at the center of a potential case of abuse. Soon enough, the police got involved, and in an interview with Fox 8, Haskins Police Chief Colby Carroll confirmed that Chafin Frederick and his wife had, in fact, forced Kelsey to get a haircut in order to punish her. "I've been doing this since '92, and I've never had a case I would say that's like this," the cop said. Soon enough, the authorities got in touch with Chafin. It seems like Chafin's original statement of actions have consequences ended up coming back to haunt him. After Wood County Job and Family Services conducted a thorough investigation, judges came to a decision that Kelsey's father and stepmother would both be suspended from their firefighter positions. Middleton Township Fire Department, where the couple worked, reportedly put both of them on administrative leave. Despite that, there was still one more twist in this roller coaster ride of a family saga. Fortunately for Kristen, authorities came to an agreement that from this point onwards, she would have full custody over Kelsey. After 5 hours of testimony and evidence provided by both parties, the magistrate's decision was for Kelsey to live with mom and her siblings, Kristen wrote on Facebook. A huge weight has been lifted off everyone's shoulders, and we cannot be any happier. Despite their initial joy, this ended up creating some more problems for Kelsey as well. While Kelsey was now in the safe hands of her mother, grandma, and siblings, leaving her father's home for good did create some problems. The standout issue was that Kelsey had left behind most of her clothes and possessions. As a result, her Aunt Kelly decided to set up a GoFundMe account in order to raise funds for Kelsey during this uncertain period of her life. Was Aunt Kelly able to help her niece in her desperate time of need? It wouldn't take long before the donations started to flood in. Aunt Kelly set a modest target of $1,000 to help Kristen and Kelsey through this time in their lives. However, she couldn't have believed her eyes when one anonymous donor contributed a whopping $2,000. Within a matter of weeks, the family managed to smash their target, eventually reaching a cool $3,543. Now that they had necessary funds to move on from this mess, Kelsey's mother had a great idea of what to do with some of it. Desperate to make her daughter feel like $1,000,000 again, Kristen promised Kelsey that she would take her back to a salon to get her hair back on track. This time, the mother-daughter duo took a trip to Lady Jane's salon. Although she felt intimidated by the huge room and how she could potentially look when everything was said and done, Kelsey actually didn't have much to worry about. Nothing could prepare her for what she was about to see in the mirror. The staff there made a huge fuss of Kelsey, including her godmother, Haley Ann, who came along to help Kelsey decide what she wanted to do. After a few hours at the salon, Kelsey looked into the mirror and saw that the staff had applied a black wig with light brown highlights at the tips. It was a radical makeover and one that the staff at Lady Jane's were thoroughly happy with. This begs the question though, was Kelsey pleased with the end result? After choosing the right wig, Kelsey looked in the mirror and couldn't believe the end result. Both her mother, Kristen, and fairy godmother, Haley Ann, also loved the way that Kelsey looked. I'd like to thank the ladies for making my baby feel more like herself, Kristen said. We truly appreciate you ladies so much. It might take a while for Kelsey's life to get back to normal. There's no doubt though that this awesome transformation will go a long way. In Kristen's Facebook post, she was quick to give thanks to Kelsey's godmother, Haley Ann, who took her to the salon to get the makeover she truly deserved. Especially Haley Ann for taking her to pick out her new hair, she wrote, Haley, you are the best godmother to Kelsey, and the bond you two share is incredible. We love you so much. Amazingly, Kristen was in for another surprise as soon as she posted those awesome photos online. Ever since Kristen's first post about her daughter's story went viral, it was difficult for her to go unnoticed whenever she put future posts online. After posting a couple of photos of Kelsey's epic trip to the salon, she was still surprised by the amount of love she received from members of the online community. As of March 2019, the post has generated nearly 5,000 likes, as well as hundreds of shares and comments. You're beautiful, one person wrote.